Good morning, my name is James. I'm one of the instructors that are teaching at Buddha View. Today I'm going to run through the equipment assembly with you guys. First thing, this is a tank. It is a 12-litre aluminium tank. We have filled the tank with air. You know we have filled it because we have this piece of plastic on top. Okay, remove the plastic. Behind you can see an O-ring. Have a look and make sure this black piece of rubber or the O-ring is there. Sometimes it can fall out. Always keep the O-ring facing you when you do your assembly, like I have it now. This is called a buoyancy control device. It's going to help you to float on the surface safely, and it's going to help you to sink underwater so you can go diving. You keep the O-ring on the tank facing the back or the hard part of the BCD, and it goes over like this, approximately this far down, and just close this clip like that. You have a reserve strap here as well. Hang that around and clip. Lift it, make sure it is tight, make sure it is not going to fall out. Okay. I'm now going to do this demonstration backwards so you can see what I'm doing. You always keep your O-ring facing you when you put it together. This is called a regulator or a regulator set. There are there are 5 different parts to a regulator set. You have this one here called the first stage. The role of the first stage is to make the air easy to breathe when it comes from the tank. Now, you can see there's a lot of pressure, and that's not possible to breathe when you are diving. So the first stage reduces that pressure. These 2 hoses are called your second stages. First stage on the tank, second stage is here. This black one is also called the primary air source, or just your regulator. This is the one that you will be breathing from most of the time. Got a mouthpiece and you just bite down. Just like that. This is called the alternate or emergency air source. It is also for you. If your primary has a problem, you could take it out, put your alternate or emergency air source in, and then swim back to the surface safely. It's also for somebody else in case of an emergency. I could give this to you, you could breathe from this, and together we could move back to the surface safely. So it is for you and for me. It's always going to be yellow, and it's always going to be longer than the primary air source. Okay. This is called a low pressure inflator, or LPI. You can connect it to your BCD, just here, and you can use that to put air into your jacket or your BCD. This is called a console or a gauge. That measures how much air you have in your tank. It measures that in a reading called bar. Okay. First stage, second stages, low pressure inflator, console or gauge. We are using a yoke system on this regulator and tank. This piece here is called a yoke screw. You just unscrew this. Do not let the yoke screw fall off. And you can remove this dust cap. The role of the dust cap is to stop water or anything else coming inside the first stage. Okay. The first stage sits over the top of the tank, just like this. Whoop. And then you tighten up this yoke screw like so. Do not do it so tight with 2 hands. Just do it firmly with 1 hand. This can still move. that is no problem at all. Your low pressure inflator hose. This is on a spring. Boop, boop. You do not screw that, that doesn't work. Pull back and clip it on like so. You have a clip in your hose here, connect there, then cover both hoses with the Velcro. Okay. The console or gauge should not be left hanging for when you're diving. It might be hitting corals or rocks or other people. So it goes into this back pocket here and it comes out just there like that. When you want to read it, whoop, you can, and then put it back inside here again. The alternate air source is not left hanging around for the same reason. It could be banging on things. You put a small fold here and it goes into a pocket on your BCD as well, just like that. So when you wear it, it's sitting right here. It's easy to access for yourself if you need it, or it's easy to access and give to somebody else. That's it. When you have this assembled correctly, it is referred to as a scuba unit. Okay. Once you have prepared your scuba unit, you must turn the air on. Always look at the valve here. There are arrows that say open and closed. Never turn it in the wrong direction and never just guess and start turning. So that says open. Turn the air all the way on. Just keep turning like so, and then just turn it back half a turn or one turn. Okay. Next thing is to check your pressure gauge, confirm that you have the correct amount of air. Your instructor will discuss with you how much air you should have, but normally a minimum of 180. Okay. Now you can start to inspect or play with your equipment. You take your primary air source, put it into your mouth and start breathing. When you breathe out, the air will be coming out the side of the regulator here and here. So underwater, there'll be some bubbles coming out here. The most important rule with the primary air source is that it is easy to breathe from. If it is not easy to breathe from, come and talk to somebody. Okay. You've now got the alternate air source. You should not begin to breathe from this, because a little while later somebody else will be checking this by breathing through it themselves. But what you can do is use this purge valve here just to make sure it is working. And then you've got the low pressure inflator hose here. There are two buttons. This one will fill or inflate your jacket. This one will empty or deflate your jacket. Luckily, your BCD will not explode. There are pressure release points here, so the air just comes out. You cannot damage your BCD. The black button here, the black button here will release the air from your BCD. You also have the option to blow air into your BCD orally or manually. You do that by pushing in this button and blowing into the jacket like this. Just like that. You should check to make sure that is working correctly. The other thing I want you to check is back to your second stage, is play with this valve on the front here. This is called a purge valve. You use this valve if you ever get water into your mouth. Sometimes you smile too much and you can get water inside. So you use this valve to release that water. This will blow air into your mouth, any water in the regulator also into your mouth, then the water will come out the bottom here. Okay, please get used to that. that should be something that is very easy to do for you. There we have it, guys. This is a completely assembled scuba unit. Thank you.